Yeah. So what do you think about the Haq Jahan the saying that that there was many candidates?
Uh, that's nonsense. I'll tell you why.
Right.
Achan and the corrupt leaders are saying that is because they're trying to downplay Father and upgrade Akjahan. If there were different candidates
Yeah.
for the second coming of Christ, because they believe when Father was born, there are other people born who could have been the second coming of Christ. They believe, and if Father didn't make it, another person could have been chosen. But that's false. I'll tell you why. Because think about it. When Jesus was born 2,000 years ago, were there other candidates for the coming of Christ at that time? If there were, another person could have come forward after Jesus died. But no such person appeared. When Jesus died, that was it. We had to wait 2,000 years for the second coming of Christ.
So do you know any other candidate that were eligible to be the Miss May or Mr. Moon?
No, it can't be, as I'm saying. The coming Messiah is is a new Adam, born without original sin. Only one person can come in that role. And also, when Father was born, only he was born without the original sin. That's what divine principle states. If you read the second Advent, an exposition of divine principle, it states very clearly that the Saviour of mankind is born as a sinless man. A sinless man is born without original sin, on page 390. And so only one person can come in that state. And if there were other candidates, where are all these pure men today, born without original sin? There were none. There's no such persons. It's a nonsensical view. Also, when Adam fell, was a replacement Adam? No, there wasn't. There wasn't a replacement Messiah at the time of Jesus. It's a false teaching. But there were. But as to the position of the true mother, that's a different role altogether. Because the Messiah has to restore his wife from the fallen world, and she's not born without original sin. He has to save her from the fallen world. So there's many candidates for that position, and Father said that many times.
But there was a condition because her mother was also the only daughter, and her mother was also the only daughter. So under those conditions, they say that she was born without original sin.
No, she was not born without original sin. Father never said that. And it's not prophesied. It's not in divine principle. Father never said Hakjam was born without original sin. And actually, she was not Father's first wife. Mrs. Che was his first wife. And Father said very clearly, if she fulfilled her mission way back, she would have become true mother, not Hakjam. So Hakjam was not born to be true mother as she claims.
But she had children? Has Hakjam had 13 children? Would Mrs. Che had 13 children for the Messiah?
Well, having children is the goal, of course, but we're talking now about the position itself. And Mrs. Che was meant to be true mother, as the Father clearly said, actually in the original Chuncheongyang book, page 1179. So that Hakchan at that stage would never have been true mother. So her claims later on saying that she was born as the only true mother or only begotten daughter is totally false.
So even if she's born, yeah. So Father raised her up to be the only begotten daughter, because as divine principle says that if there is a male here, there should be also a female here. They should,
No.
compete each
The
other.
Messiah is a man. He always has been a man. Always will be a man. He has to find his wife from the fallen world to restore the position of Eve, who could become true mother. But she's not born in that position. She's not born in that position at all. Only one person is sent. Only one person is prophesied to be the Messiah. We find that in the Bible and also in the Divine Principle. And that's a sinless man. He's a man. He has to. That's his role, to find his wife, restore her to the position of the new Eve.
I mean, yeah, it is also it's also a patriarchal kind of a culture that, I mean, like the Family Federation wants to balance it out with a matriarchal culture as well. So that is why they come up with the concept of the only begotten daughter. So are they right to doing such things like that?
No, they're not. It's a false teaching. The only way you can have true equality or a center on the Messiah, you can't change the teaching, you can't change the truth. Only the Messiah is the person who is able to bring unity or bring God's ideal. You can't change Messiah's words to your own likings. That becomes false. Messiah is the only person who is able to bring God's ideal on the earth. So therefore we have to follow his teachings, centered on him. What the Family Federation are doing now, they're replacing Father with Abraham altogether. They've even gone so far to say is that actually Abraham was born without original sin. The Father was born with original sin. They've totally replaced Father with Abraham. They've created a new religion. It's a new religion. It's not the religion that Father created while he was on the earth.
Okay, because we have the Old Testament, the New Testament, and the completed Testament. So isn't this the only begotten daughter is a completed Testament teaching, a completely new teaching that also brings about something new, as Jesus said that I have many things to tell you that you cannot bear them now. So the only begotten daughter theory or theology is also a kind of new teaching that Jesus would have brought.
Well, the fulfillment of the teaching of true parents, that's new. That's new, and that's also prophesied in the Bible when the marriage of the Lamb. The Lamb is a symbol of Christ when Christ marries. But it says in Revelations 19:7, when his bride has made herself ready, it means when she's made herself ready, when she's ready to unite with Christ, become one with Christ. That is the new teaching, but it's not new in a sense because Jesus taught about it. It's in the Bible, and the Father explained it even more clearly. It's the idea of the true parents. But for true parents to exist, it has to be centered on Christ, on true Father. You can't have true parents when you replace true Father. True Father should always be the center of it, centered on his teachings and his ideal. What Hachan is doing now is replacing his teachings, changing his teachings, and have it centered on herself. So that's a new religion, and has nothing to do with true Father. It's a modern day heresy. It's a modern day heresy. It's a disgrace. People have really been deluded by it. They think, oh, it sounds good. Sounds good, but it's not good. How do you think Father feels in the spiritual world when his whole life's teachings? There's one activity Father did his whole life, and that was speaking his words of truth for us, so we could find our way. And he left the 8 great textbooks for us to study, as he said, for thousands of years. But as soon as he dies, then those things are replaced and changed, making his life efforts futile. How would you feel? How would you feel if you were Christ or true Father?
It's terrible, huh? I think.
Terrible. Anyone would feel terrible. I mean, any person, any other person of any kind of life's work, you'd expect to be respected, but his works have not been respected at all. And I think the Family Federation really need to wake up. They've fallen a terrible heresy.
So why did Father even did not declare the only begotten daughter when he was living on the earth, and say that the only begotten daughter was God's destiny, God's plan to bring about the first time in history the only begotten daughter?
Well, he never mentioned that, as far as I know. I feel he did say that when Hakchan was united with him as true parents, they're one and equal, but only when they're united together. So of course, in love, they're united, they're one. And that was God's Father's ideal for that to happen. So they were. We can say they were united, and they had equal value when they were united, and Hakchan was united with them. But when she departed from him after Father died, and she changed Father's words and created her own teaching, her own theology, then that does no longer apply. She's stolen Father's foundation. I mean, Father made his youngest son, Yunjim, his heir and successor. She even stole that from him. And she even tried to destroy him through a court case to stop him using the 12 gate sign. But it's so ridiculous, even the judge realized she dismissed the case. It was a really nonsensical case. But she was prepared to spend millions of dollars in lawyer fees and so on to try to destroy her own son. That's to call her true mother is really nonsensical. It's really gone. I'm sorry to say, but we can't say that Hakchan is true mother anymore. It's really become way beyond what Father expected. He failed, basically. That's it. Family Federation members need to accept that Hakchan betrayed Father. She changed his words. She called him, in a way, a fallen man. When you say he was born with original sin, that makes Father just an ordinary man. Just an ordinary man.
So, but the notion, they say father and mother are one. They are one, they're united. And there are quotes to say that Father said that mother and father are the eternal true parents.
Oh, they keep repeating that now, like a mantra, but it's meaningless. It's meaningless. You can recite any mantra, but if it's not true, what meaning it? Actually, it's not one with Father. Everything I just described what she's done proves that she's not one with Father.
So that is the notion that the Family Federation thinks that father and mother are one. So what mother does is what father does, and what father does is what mother does. Mother is now on the earth, and father is in the spiritual world. So mother's turn to do her portion of her responsibility to bring about.
Yeah, they say that, but think of it: true parents, they're in contradiction. They're not true parents. If one says one thing and the other one says another thing, if Hakchan says one thing and True Father says something different, then one is wrong. They can't both be right. If you say if the Family Federation says it doesn't matter, they're one, it does matter because they're not one. If they were one, they would have the same teaching, they'd have the same belief, and the same subject. which is true father. But they don't have the same teaching, that's clear, and they don't have the same subject. True father is no longer the subject, Hakchahan is. If you see a deposition, as mentioned before, she often said, I'm the person who should make these decisions. And she, I can't think of it right now, but looking at deposition scripts, it's been very, very clear that she did not agree with true father. And I think that was a big mistake, because she spoke more than she should have, but she exposed herself that she's not in agreement with true father. Family Federation members may not want to look at that, but it's there for everyone to see. She does not agree with father. She doesn't believe true father. And that's what we have today. We have a heresy, and Hakchan is the biggest liar and fraud in history.
Yeah, because she said that that she and father are one, and that yeah, it does not make it does make sense, because what she said, that that she knew the divine principle. Nobody taught her the divine principle. Father never raised her. She knew it from birth.
Well, she's done better than father then. It took father 9 years, for intense spiritual struggle, to discover 9 years. Maybe he should have waited for Hakchan. She could have told him that.
Yeah, this is the heresy that the unification movement is facing. When my father was alive, we never we never heard that. We always thought that she was very obedient wife.
Well, she was at the beginning, but something happened where she changed, and that's the fact. It's no point looking at the past all the time. Family Federation like to look at pictures of true parents in the past, lovely pictures and so on. That's not reality. We're not living that reality anymore. That's long past. We live in today. We live in today when she's calling father a fallen man. She said father made mistakes. She sent 2 lecturers out, Hyundai Kin and another one. They said 95% of father said is wrong. It's untrue. He gave that seminar because she directed him to the. That's the Hakchan we have today. It's no longer the true mother of the past.
So why are the theologians, the unification theologians, still following the family faith, still following her? Still
Because
believe that
there's a variety of reasons. I think that they feel comfortable where they are. They don't want to lose their salaries. Maybe they're getting paid. They like the status quo. But the truth is, whatever reason they have, they're not following father, and that's what they should be worried about, not their salaries or their comforts, or they don't lose their friends or something. But they should be following what father said. They should follow the truth.
So what you're saying is that she is not one with father.
No, she's not one with father.
And I mean, father is not now. Father is ascended into the spiritual world. So what is now mother's turn? Mother's turn to fulfill God's desire.
Who said she has a turn? Why should she have a turn? It's not her turn. If it's anyone's turn, it would be Yunjin's turn, because he's one that father, together with Hakchan, when they were true parents, they appointed to continue father's mission on earth as father's heir and successor. If it's anyone's turn, it's Yunjin's turn, but Yunjin is actually representing father on the earth. But she's totally usurped him. She doesn't have a turn. If she was united with father, she would be supporting Yunjin. That's what she, with father, when father made him the heir and successor in in that declaration. But she changed her mind. She doesn't believe that anymore. But Hakchan can keep changing her mind. That's what liars do. But Father declared Yunjin as heir and successor, and that hasn't changed. If she's united with Father, she should be united with Yunjin. Should be supporting him.
In other words, that she really took the subjective role on earth now, because she's, I mean, like what they say, that Hunjim should have waited till the Han mother passed away into the spiritual world to take up his position as a true heir and successor.
Well, as far as I know, Yunjin, he had no interest to take the position when Father passed. He continued following his mother. He wasn't anxious to grab his position. But I think gradually, step by step, it dawned on him that Hakchan was no longer true mother, and she made her own Jeonseongyang book. She made just a matter of months after Father passed in 2013, where he found out that she made that book just so she could remove portions of Father's words that don't support her own new teaching about herself. When he realized that, then he realized things are going very, very wrong. Step by step, he challenged her, so he should not change Father's words. But then she was furious and kicked him out. But kicked him out what for? For speaking up for Father's words. Isn't that what a heir and successor should be doing? If he was not doing that, he would not be heir and successor. He's a Father's heir and successor. He's speaking up for true Father. She was kicked out for that. So there's no way at all, there's no justification for Hakchan's taking the position she has at the moment. And I think members are waking up. They're realizing more and more that actually what she is saying is getting more and more bizarre and ridiculous. And I hope, I pray, that then more and more will come back under True Father's authority and follow the true heir, successor was Yunjin.
So this is basically the problem that the unification movement as a whole has about the biggest schism that has ever happened, because Hakchan at the moment is acting as she is the only true parents that is on earth that can bring about the kingdom of heaven on earth, as Jesus predicted.
God's providence doesn't stand still. It always moves on. And it's moved on in this case that the position of true mother was a crucially important position. Now Hakchan decided to betray it. I think Yunjin waited a long time, up until 2015, or hoping that she would come to her senses, but she never did. Instead, she took out a lawsuit against him to try to destroy him. But anyway, basically the position of the true mother has to be fulfilled. It's the eternal position, Father's object partner. And that was fulfilled by Yunjiu Kang, the first missionary, the first person to follow True Father in Busan. And she came by herself. She was inspired and just came to where Yunjin was in America. She took a flight at old age, at 92 years old. And she came over. And it's amazing in a way. But then and then Yunjin blessed her to be True Father's bride. It became True Mother. As in September 23rd, 2018.
Yeah, but I think we can discuss about that issue, because it creates a lot of problems among members to understand how come uh, Hyangshul Kang became true mother, because father was already married. How can he divorce his wife and marry someone else? So that's an issue that we can discuss later on a later podcast on. But I can understand the point that where Hak Jahan has really you know played around with the movement and has broken the movement, because that when father signed the declaration that anybody else is a heretic and a destroyer.
Mm.
And we can see, I mean, she has destroyed everything the movement stood for. So we do not know what is the end goal at this time, and where the family federation is going now. Once Hak Jahan Hak Jahan goes into the spiritual world, what will come about the unification movement at that time? Do you know what the
Well,
vision?
I don't know, but I believe that if people continue following her after she passes, um, it may last for a while. But people in every age, they only want to follow what is really true, what is the original, what's the original. So even if we go 100 years from now and people research what is this movement, who are these people, they always research and they always dig out what's the original source. And they'll find out, for example, the original Cheonseong-gyeong. Then they'll find out another book was made with the same title. Step by step, they'll find out that the original teaching, the original movement was centered on true fathers, the second coming of Christ. And they'll find out the later period, it evolved into a movement following an only begotten daughter with a different teaching. It has changed. And then people always prefer to go to the origin. They trust more the origin. And so if the family federation is not exposed by then, it will be exposed along the line for sure. Because of the false teaching. And especially this day and age, the internet, the AI, and so you find out all these things clearly. So those who want to continue following Hakchan, they're fools, basically. I feel sorry for them. They should really come back to true fathers or authority. There's absolutely no merit in following her.
Because the original name of they changed the name from Family Federation to Heavenly Parent Heavenly Community, HPHC. But so far we have known that it has not stuck on the wider membership, and this is a this is a kind of issue. So we don't know. Let's see. At what time will say when time passes on, how this movement will evolve, a new religion of the only begotten daughter. So yeah.
Hmm.
So thank you very much for this topic about the whether father had many whether Hak Jahan had many candidates. So we will continue talking about other subjects as well in the schism,
Okay.
because it should this thing should be exposed. The truth shall set you free, as they say.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, then thank you very much.
Thank you.